Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrappy Kane. Today I'm sharing a double 8.5 by 11 layout. This kit came from Close to My Heart before they closed. This was actually from 2022, I believe is what the year was on the papers. And I have quite a few photos here of my son that he allowed me to take. I keep saying he allowed me to because he doesn't let me take very many photos of him anymore. But he was happy with his haircut and decided he wanted me to take a couple of pictures of him. So we went outside and I took advantage of it and took a few pictures of him. I have a few stamps that I'm going to try to incorporate in with the layout. I also brought in metal dies. I decided not to use the metal dies. I have a lot more stuff to put on the layout than I can actually put on the layout. But I will explain more of that when I'm putting the layout together. I just love the bright colors of this collection, and it's probably one of my favorite boy collections from Close to My Heart. Along with their grunge layouts that they used to come out with, this one is probably my favorite, and I think it's because of all the primary colors. I also have the 6x6 papers from, this was like a little kit that they had put together, and it had all 6x6 papers. There was no 12x12s, and then there was a couple of stamps. I'm mainly pulling out the 6x6 papers. I don't believe I use even any of the stickers that I showed, but I do use the 6x6 papers because color wise they match, of course, because they're by Close to My Heart also. And I'm going to make them work on this layout. So I have black cardstock. I wasn't sure if I was going to go with the black cardstock as the background or white cardstock. I end up doing white cardstock because I actually end up doing mixed media, which is something I don't do very often. This paper here is a pre-made mixed media paper, but I actually cut it incorrectly. So I decided just to make my own. I was going to use that paper, but it's okay. I can still use it on another layout, just not a double 8.5 by 11. But like I said, it's okay. I have plenty of paper and it's not that important. It's only white paper with like splatters on it. So here I'm just showing how the 6x6 papers match the primary colors that are in this collection. And they gave you, this was the workshop kit. So it came with extra cardstock papers that also match the collection. And I'm going to get started here on the layout in just a minute. I'm going to add in this paper here from Paper Rose. I actually forget to use it, and I end up using it one time. I end up only cutting one word, which is smile, off of it, and it's even off camera, but you will see it in the close-ups. So here I'm going to get ready to do the mixed media. Again, I'm using Shimmer's paints in all the matching colors that I could find. I don't remember the names of all of them. The red one I went a little bit too heavy with, which red isn't the color you usually want to go heavy with. But in the end, I think it works out as far as how the layout is set up, and you'll see that towards the end. But yeah, if I had to do it over again, I definitely would have did less red. And I guess I could have rolled acrylic paint over it or something and tried to tone it down, but I didn't. I just left it and kind of embraced it. It's fine. In the end, like I said, I think it turns out okay. But if I had to do it again, I definitely would not use that much red. But it's over. It's okay. So here I'm doing the yellow. I did mix two of the yellows together. The green I'm going to mix with quite a few different greens. This was Vicki Boutin's watercolors that I brought in. And of course the cap looks very green, but it is not. It's more of like the aqua color that Vicki uses. So I'm going to wipe that up, or most of it. I'm going to try to mix in a couple of other Shimmer's paints, but they're all too dark that I own. I don't own one that's kind of like a green green. This one that I'm pouring out is more of like a lime green. I know on camera it kind of looks like it would match, but it really doesn't. So I'm going to go old school and try to mix blue and yellow to make green. And it works out a lot better. I'm able to control how much blue or how much green goes in it. And I just keep adding and keep playing with it, trying to get the right green. I brought in Citron ink and Mowed Lawn, I believe is the other one, the Distress Green. And I'm trying to use that one, but it's still a little bit too bright. So I'm actually going to mix all of them together, like even that one that you see that's there, that piled of Shimmer's paint and the blue and the green, or the blue and the yellow making green. And I just do a mix of it. It's okay. Most of it gets covered up anyways, so really I just spent a whole lot of time mixing that up for no good reason. But you do see some of it, and the part that you see matches fine. It's okay in the end. So here's the blue I'm going to use, and I went ahead and put that down already. I'm going to do some splatters in each of the colors. I went ahead and splattered the green while I had it out since I took so many greens to mix together. I'm going to splatter yellow, and then I'm going to splatter orange and red, and pretty much that's going to be it for the mixed media for right now. I ended up doing this over a 2-day span. I started it and then I didn't have time to finish it because of Mother's Day, so I came back to it, and now I'm actually going to use some little stamps that I cut off from a Halloween stamp. I will show it here in just a minute. I believe it's from Simple Stories. And I cut the little stars that look like ones when you hand draw a star. So I wanted those ones, and I'm going to stamp them on in the same colors. So I'm using, what is this, Fire Brick Red, I believe is the red I chose to use. And they're pretty much tone on tone. They're a little bit darker than the orange or the green, whatever color I'm doing in the background, but in the end, I really like the way it looks. So I'm doing the yellow here. This is Fossilized Amber. The orange was Marmalade, and then this one is Mowed Lawn, and this one is Blue Jean. I end up just using Blue Jean. I have Prize Ribbon there too, but I end up just doing Blue Jean. So I did pretty much 3 of each color at the top and the bottom of each strip in 2 different sizes. So here's little splatters. This is a splatter stamp, and I'm just adding more splatters to the top and the bottom. And one stamp is a little bit bigger than the other one, but pretty much, they just look the same. So I'm just adding those also, top and the bottom, and that just gives it a little bit more detail as far as the splattering and stuff goes. And I like the way that it looks, so that's why I added it. So here's my photos. I went ahead and backed each one in a different color, and then I used the black papers, either the polka dot or the like black and white grid paper. And then I have the blue paper over here in the long strip, and then I also have the black and white, like it looks like graffiti paper is what it reminds me of. And the photos kind of remind me of like 80s or 90s type photos, which is what the kids are wearing nowadays. It looks like, the 80s are coming back, or the 90s. And he's wearing a muscle shirt that I don't really like, but he had just gotten his hair cut, like I said, so he had this shirt on, and he's like, just take my picture. And he's like, or otherwise you don't get to take pictures. So I took the opportunity and just took the pictures. And they turned out so cute. He's 12 years old here, so almost a teenager, not quite. He is a teenager now, but he was 12 here. And like I said, they were just fun pictures out in the park, and he's actually laughing and playing around and, doing different poses. And he actually enjoyed taking the pictures for once, even though he said he didn't, but he did. And I have the little black negative strips down at the bottom. Those are from 49 Market. I decided to go with the black instead of the colored ones that I showed in the intro. I did use a blue one, and that one is over to the right hand side. But I decided to go dig in the black and white ones that I have, and I pulled out 3 black little ones, and then the one that's behind the blue photo is like a gray tone almost. And I laid these ones down incorrectly. I should have laid the yellow one down more straight, and then the red and the green more kind of slanted. but I had already cut the one in the middle, so I couldn't really go back except for to just kind of finagle it and make it work. So that's what I ended up doing. So right now, nothing is attached down except for the negatives and the first 3 photos. So here I'm going to start adding them, putting them down. I'm going to put the title down, which is Everyday Awesome, which I just thought was kind of a cute little title for these fun photos. And this photo here, the larger one, is almost a 4x6. It's trimmed down just a little bit, but it was my favorite picture because, like I said, he's laughing and, showing his beautiful smile that I love. So I wanted that one a little bit larger. So here I'm going to go ahead and put down the title piece, and I don't believe I make you watch me add everything. I do add everything, but I don't glue everything down on screen. I'll go off and then come back, and everything will be magically glued down into place. And the everyday I should have put down just a little bit lower because one of the arrows that I want to use, I end up not being able to place it there because I put that everyday part a little bit higher than originally I had it. So, but I make it work in the end. All of the stars are either stickers or die cuts, and I did trace around them with a black Sharpie to add a black outline on them. And then there's going to be 2 arrows on the layout instead of 3. And again, that's just because when I put this yellow one on there that's orange and yellow, it's covering up a little bit too much of the photo. And I don't believe everything's not going to be attached down. Right now I'm just placing it where I want it to go, but I end up not putting that orange and yellow arrow. And I kind of wish I did because I kind of really like it, but it is just a little bit too big, but it's okay. I don't have it on the layout as of now. When you'll see the final photos, it's not on there. But I might go back and add it. But right now, it's not on there. So here I'm just laying down all the stars and all these little... This one here, I forgot to go around with the Sharpie, so that's what I was doing there, is just tracing around one more yellow star to put there. And then there's a few black stars. Those ones were the pink stars on the sticker sheet, and I just colored them black with a black Sharpie to make black stars because there was no black stars on the sticker sheet. So that's where I decided to go ahead and just remove the arrow. Like I said, I did kind of like it, but it was kind of taking up too much space. So now I'm going around and adding black stars, and everything is attached down now. So I'm just using the same little star stamp, both sides, the larger one and the smaller one, and I went all around and just added a few of them around. And here, I believe I'm going to hold it up here in just a minute and give you a little close-up view, and I am done. I left in as much of the process as I possibly could. Like I said, this layout definitely took a while to put together, but I love the end result. I love when I can do like monochromatic in a rainbow order. I just love the end result. So as you can see, like, since there's those blue photo strips that are longer with the larger blue photo on the right hand side, the left hand side with all the red actually looks okay in the end. So I decided to add 2 more stars, one at the top, one at the bottom of that blue paper. So here's the final layout. I hope you guys enjoyed today's layout. You can see up there in the corner I added the best smile, and the best was already there, but I added smile from that paper rose paper. So here's a few close-ups. I hope you guys enjoyed today's layout. This was from Close to My Heart. Like I said, they're no longer available, but I have so many Close to My Heart kits that I really need to get out of my stash, so that's my goal. I hope you guys will join me in the next video. See you later. Bye!